How are you both today?
I'm
Good,
good.
thank
How
you,
are you?
Greg.
I'm good. It was great to experience both of you in this. Congratulations. How
Thank you.
amazingly powerful it was. It's just very gripping. So congratulations.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Yeah. So, Vritika, let's start with you. You're relatively new to such a big spectacle. You've done lots of shorts, short films and whatnot. What were your thoughts when you first discovered the true story of Rena? And what were you experiencing emotionally while playing her?
Yeah, that's a great question. I think, when I found out the story about Rena, it was very eye-opening to me. I hadn't heard about that case before, so it was really interesting to kind of hear about it. And I was really excited to portray Rena because I really wanted the audience to hear the story and know it and, really listen to it. And I think you can take away a lot of good points from it. I think, as the show goes on, you kind of experience more the family dynamic between Rena and her family. And I think that was also a very kind of emotional experience for all of us. And I think really shooting the sequence under the bridge, I think that was also just a very powerful moment. And we were surrounded by such great people that really supported us throughout that. But it was definitely a very intense scene to film.
Have either of you experienced bullying in your own lives? And if so, how have you moved through that? Or if you've had friends that have experienced it, what have you noticed?
I haven't experienced it personally, I guess, but as you were saying the question, my immediate response was no, I haven't. But in a way, I think I have. Like within the school system, I think teachers are often the bullies towards their students, which is a dynamic that I don't think we acknowledge enough in society. I think that this series does a great job of exploring those intergenerational relationships and how young people can feel and are often neglected and unheard and abandoned, and how we might respond to that and how we might become like the adults who have kind of hurt us in the first place.
So, for you, where do you feel you drew strength as you moved through perhaps things like that?
Well, a lot of my experiences are things that I write about. I am an author, and particularly I would say with my second book, Innocence and Corruption, which is about the oppression of children, I kind of explored the school system and the family system and some of those dynamics, and I guess expressing it creatively was cathartic.
Wonderful. And Vertita, um, who were you inspired by? Were there any actors or genres that really inspired you to inform you to kind of move through this character?
Yeah, that's a great question. I think really Quinn and Samir were kind of my biggest supporters throughout this. They were always willing to answer a question for me, and they were just always there to kind of support me and be ready to answer anything that I had in mind. So they definitely helped and guided me. And I think also we had different directors each episode. So I think being able to understand their point of view and their perspective was also very helpful to understanding Rena as well.
And Aiyana, Dusty is kind of caught in the middle here in so many ways, and you just brought the character to life so well. Um, what were some of your thoughts or experiences? What was it like working alongside Lily Gladstone in several scenes, and how did that feel to you?
My experience was overall really positive. I learned so much from it. I haven't had the opportunity to live with a character as long as I lived with Dusty, and she has not left me at all. And I really value the experiences that I had. Like Quinn, for example, let me shadow her while she was directing because it's something that I'm interested in. And so I think I learned a lot, like personally as an actor, performance wise, but also just about filmmaking as a process. Working with Lily, of course, was just wonderful. She's a very sweet and funny person. The first day that we worked together, I was really nervous because I'd flown 8 hours from London to Vancouver where we were filming, and I was just crying the whole flight and really stressed. And I was going to be living in Vancouver by myself for a few months, and it was just a big deal. And I got to set, and she was so grounding, such a great scene partner. We were just laughing and making jokes, and managed to make light within a heavy scene or between takes during even a heavy scene. And I really appreciated her sweetness and kindness.
What do you both hope, or what would be your greatest hope for how this lands with um, younger audiences, especially young women?
Yeah, that's a great question. I think for me, I just really want the audience to, have these purposeful conversations, not just among themselves, but, with their family, with their friends. And I really want them to understand how important it is to surround yourself with people that care about you and want what's best for you. And you should never judge someone by how they look or how they act because you haven't even stepped foot in their shoes and haven't even lived a second in their life. So I think that's definitely the biggest part I would take.
One of the most significant things for me is the fact that a lot of these characters seem very lost, and a lot of these characters don't really, in the young cast, don't really know who they are. They haven't developed that sense of self, and they make decisions based on fear or trying to create or protect an image that exists to kind of shield them from maybe the trauma and the violence that they've experienced from the world. And I hope that young people are able to see that and take it almost as a warning. And I hope that people can develop a sense of self and figure out who they are truly without kind of performing a personality to make other people happy or to make society happy. I hope that we can risk loving and caring for ourselves and each other.
Beautiful. I think we have about 30, 40 seconds left. If you were to flash forward, what sort of genre, movie, TV series, something would you love to star in next down the road?
Ooh, that's a good.
I've always
Catch
wanted to
Ray.
play a horror character, but like the character of horror, like the It or the
Mm.
whatever. I
Ooh,
think
yes. I think
that'd be
kind
really
of
fun.
going on to that, I think for me, definitely either like horror or comedy.
Yeah,
I think
comedy
for
as
that
well.
for sure.
Beautiful. Well, you're both incredibly dynamic and incredibly talented. So congratulations. It was
Thank
a
you.
great thing.
Thank you so much.
Have a good day. Nice to meet
Thank
you.
you.
Well.